it's Mark, RPM Tesla Aftermarket Accessories. We're going to show everybody today how to install our Open-Pore Wood Veneer center console. This is Gen 1 style, Gen 2 is coming out soon. But in our cars, we all have the same center console. Again, this is our Generation 2, which has the flip-up drawer as well as the trapezoid and the upper piece and the cup holder. So we're going to show you in our shop, just so you can see it under ideal lighting conditions, everything you're going to need to do. You're going to be scanning this, watching the video you're watching right now. Let's go over what you get in the box. Again, this is a new updated video because the old video, we were manufacturing these differently and we were using an aluminum base. So anyway, now you'll find 4 boxes inside the box along with a promoter and a cleaner. And these are the 4 pieces. So you'll notice that all of the Open-Pore wood has a real nice black trim around all the edges, and it's designed to just be a peel and stick operation where you're just going to peel them, stick them down, make sure things open correctly, make sure nothing rubs or touches the other mating pieces. And now again, we're on our 3rd generation, so we're not using any backing. We're just using 2 layers of wood veneer, Open-Pore wood veneer, and it's super flexible and bendable and easy to install. Peel it, stick it right down just like this. So anybody should be able to install this. Now it's super simple because of the fact that there's no lifting, there's no edges that are going to want to come up because it's not bonded to aluminum. It's just 2 pieces of super thin wood veneer. So anyway, let's start off with the basic beginning. When you open the box, you're going to find all 4 pieces inside, and you want to do a dry test fit. So what this means is you want to place every piece exactly where it's going to go and make sure you like how it fits. So take, for instance, the cup holder. You want to take this piece and make sure when you put it right down, right over the cup holder, you're happy with where it fits on the back, on the sides. Push it all the way down, see how it fits right up to the edges. Basically, you're just deciding if you want to keep it or not, and if you like how it's going to fit. So again, we designed these in the last 3 years, many times, many different ways, always improving everything, and this is the best version we're working now with the 3M VHB double-sided tape. So after you check all of them and you see how they're going to function, and you can see the fitment, like how the corners line up here, and then we're going to just simply press it down. We're going to tape it in place also, but again, we want to make sure that you're happy with it, you like it. Everything is laser cut and die cut stamped, so everything is made exactly the same from the first kit to the last kit that we manufacture. And then of course we're going to talk about other items in the same Open-Pore wood. We are making the door switches, and we are going to be making this for the new Gen 2 center console very soon. So let's start off with preparation and installation, and we'll go from there. Okay, now 70% rubbing alcohol is the best thing to take light fingerprints, oil, and grease, and anything off a painted surface like this. So this is a painted surface, whether or not you have this glossy black or you have some other material or a cover over it. Just clean it, make it really spotless. Make sure there's no oil, no grease, no fingerprints, nothing that will impair the bonding. Okay, so do a quick wipe down, make sure everything looks good. Then in the packet, you may get one of our 3M VHB promoters as well as our surface cleaner. So the surface cleaner is nice. It's another alcohol-based cleaner. It comes with a nice type of mesh for cleaning. You'll see how wet this is going to look and how damp it's going to look. Like this. And it's just one more chance to get all the dust off, grease, anything. Again, do the edges, do anything that could cause anything getting inside. So throw that away. Next is going to be the promoter. So you might get a 3M adhesive promoter or a generic promoter. They've been on back order with 3M for some time. So we found one just to make the video. And now, before you take this out, you want to look at the back of each one. So you notice we've located the tape around the perimeter and the center of each piece. That means that we're going to use the promoter in those areas only. I mean, why waste it? So this one here is plenty to do the whole center console. Just watch how I'm running it all the way around. You're just getting it wet and letting it dry. One through the middle, up the sides, across here, down here, and that's it. Anywhere else you put it, it doesn't make a difference. So again, this is adhesive promoter. It's good for all surfaces. You want to let it dry. We actually use it in the manufacturing where we're using 3M VHB adhesive promoter. It's UL94, and it's on the wood. So you can't even get this tape off of the wood. It's actually bonded super strong. So that way everything bonds super strong when you put it down. So now let's get started. We're letting it dry, and we're gonna start off with probably the easiest piece. And this is what we call the above trapezoid piece. So this piece just simply adheres like this. It's a little hard because in the car you got to put it up like this and slide it under. So of course we don't expect you to take your center console out. And a lot of times people don't even use this piece because it's very hard to see. So now let's take all the tape off and get started. And you want to use a pick or something and just scratch the end off the tape. And then we'll pull it all the way off and show you how easy this installs. So you'll have one or two layers on the top piece. This one is probably the easiest one, or we're certain it is because it's not complicated. The only thing you don't want to do is you don't want to place it too low. So we all know the trapezoid opens and closes. So if you're down here too low, the piece you're going to put on the trapezoid could get hung up. So you don't want to put it low. You want to line it up like this. Let's say you're in the car. You line it up like this. You line it up like this. Just make sure you can see the glossy black painted area underneath. You'll know you're not too close. Again, this piece is not easy to see at all when you're in the car. Now we're going to go on to the trapezoid piece. Everything is dried up now. And remember now, this is still very sticky and you don't want to get it dirty in any of the areas it's going to mate up to the tape lines. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to start at the bottom like this. So you're going to line these pieces up right at the very bottom. You're going to curve them around the radius just like this. And you're going to line up the corners. So see how my fingers are keeping it just like this? So while you're leaning across the car, you're going to put one corner down and the other corner down, and you're going to hold the corners. Then we're going to slide it right up, making sure you're parallel all the way up, and we're going to stick it down, and we're not going to go up too high. Remember, you don't want to stick it up here or you're going to have an issue. So you're going to start right at the top like this, all the way down, and it is curved, but look at how nice it lines up. So it'll fit just like this. So this is, again, another way to test fit it. And if you're too high up, it's going to hang up and chip and crack. So don't do that. We want to make sure that you're all the way inside and there's no issues with it hitting. All right, so let's get started now on that piece. I'm going to move on this side so it's a little easier to film. Open up the flip drawer, and then we're going to go like this and just make sure of the clearance. Make sure there's no issues. Some cars rub up here on some center console caps and some don't. So that's why we have a nice generous gap. All right, so we'll probably cut the audio out here. Very, very strong double-sided tape. Okay, so the first thing now, and I want to try to shoot it the same way you're going to be seeing it in the car, is shooting it like this. And we're putting the top edge down. So up on the top edge here, on the top edge there, and curving it, okay? So keep it curved like this and make sure there's no issues with it opening and closing. No clearance issues. Okay, then we're going to simply open it up. Use your fingers to line it up. Now this is the one part that's important, is you got to curve it. You can't put it on straight because there is a curve to this display, to this piece. So we got to make contact all the way down, and it's nice and bendable like this. And now you should see how it closes, and it's right on the edge. So there's no issues, opens and closes. Then we're going to put some tape on it. And again, you don't want to use a towel. It's a little hard to push because we've made the surface of the open-pore wood rough and coarse, just like the standard piece on the Tesla. All right, so far so good. Let's move on to the next piece. Again, we want to try to test fit this again. You don't want to get it too close so they're banging. You do got to leave a gap. And then we're going to place it down, and it has to go forward and back. So this has to go inside. So one of the most important things is not to get too close to this lip. So we're going to start on this end. So if you were to place it like this, it won't open. If you place it like this, it's going to look really bad. So you got to find a happy median. Test it like this before you take the tape off. That looks really good. Maybe a little bit closer. And then look at the top, holding your hand here. It's going to be right on the edge. So we've sold hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these, and we know what size to make it, and we know how to make it perfect. So let's get started now and peel these off. Just give it a little pick and a pull. All right, so again, let me go on the other side. You can watch it from the driver's side. And again, this piece is open all the way up. Opens and closes the way it was intended. And we're going to show you how to tape it down so that this curvature is maintained. But let's go back to the flip. So this is the flip. And notice I'm not touching it around the perimeter because it still has the tape on it, or the promoter. So let's hold it up here and let it just sit like this. Let's get it close. So like we did in our test fit, let's leave a little bit of room and push this edge down. Now, of course, I'm making sure I'm parallel over the top, and I'm going to check my fitment to make sure it goes underneath and doesn't intersect or actually touch anything else. And now I'm going to make sure that I'm not rubbing on the side, and I'm pushing it down like this, applying pressure. And as soon as it grabs, it's going to stick. There's no tomorrow. It really grabs awesome. Okay, now let's check this. This opens, this opens, this opens. No issues. Make sure you do that before you pull the tape off. You really want to have the location set up to know how close to the edge you want to be, and then look at how nice it fits. And then we'll put some tape on it to hold it down while it's bonding. Okay, last piece is the cup holder piece. Again, one more dry fit. You'll notice that ours covers up the wood or the chrome from the top angle. So we designed it to reach over and around the radius. And you'll also notice it fits right up on this edge. So if you line up this edge perfect, this peninsula will line up with this one, as well as the cup holders, and the sides will be butt up close and level. This again is the most important thing. You don't want this thing sticking up. You want it flush, level, so it looks original and OEM. So now let's take the tape off of this. Then we're going to hold this open, and we're going to line up that edge and drop it in. Then we're going to tape it for 72 hours just to make sure the pieces don't move and to make sure there's plenty of pressure on them. So it's a real strong bond. And again, the surface of this is treated and sealed, making it waterproof, stain-proof. Again, it's taken us probably close to 4 years to get to this third generation, or the Gen 3, where now we have changed what it's bonded to and how it applies, and the learning curve. Sold lots of them and learned a lot. And we send out lots of free pieces to people that have had issues with it lifting. But now with the promoter and the VHB tape, even through extreme temperatures in the hot and the cold in Arizona or the freezing temperatures in Canada, we think we have figured it all out. So anyway, now before I'm going to do anything, I don't want to stick it down. I want to put the edge down, and I want to put this down. And now I'm trying to center it back and forth. You know what I mean? And I don't want it to start sticking anywhere. I want to make sure that I'm lined up on that corner and this corner, and I'm flush in the middle. My finger, make sure it opens and closes. Don't let go of it. Now the peninsula's going down, and I'm checking the sides. Make sure I'm down in the sides all the way to the edges. And it looks that easy, yeah. This is great. Now a little bit of pressure. 3M VHB is nothing more than PSA. What is PSA? PSA is pressure-sensitive adhesive tape. Pressure-sensitive adhesive tape requires pressure to activate it, so it needs pressure, so it will stick, okay? So any kind of sticky things you use with double-sided tape need pressure, so put lots of pressure on it. Slide your hands back and forth. Go around the perimeter. Push down. Same thing on these pieces. Perimeter, across the middle. Now this is done. This is in. This is ready to go. This is perfect. But we're going to give you one more advice. And that's going to be putting some tape on the edges that are curved. You want them to stick down. There's a natural resistance to want to push back. So since this is curved here, it is flexing slightly. We still want you to put some tape on it. So we like, of course, at RPM, 3M Gorilla Tape. Yes, it's very strong. Yes, it's probably too much, but we still like it. So we'll start off with the flip drawer. We recommend you put a piece right here, about 3/4 of an inch from the end, and pull it over, not that much, just stretch it over so it puts pressure on. Put it on both sides. This is going to apply additional pressure during the bonding process, which takes up to 72 hours. So same thing here. You don't have to use big pieces of tape, but we want to go over this and this on the corner and pull down and around, down and around. This is going to apply pressure in both areas. Same thing on this one. Lay the tape on and then just pull it slightly down. Pull this side down. Easy, easy. All right, now the last area might be here, but if you've got it in here perfect and it's sitting nice and tight between the aluminum rails, just look it up close there. Look at how nice it fits. Push it all the way down. Make sure all the edges are down. There's no gaps. You could put a piece on here. You could put a piece here. But honestly, it's not going anywhere, especially with this new VHB version that we're using. And again, we've used the promoter on the wood, so on the back side of every piece. So one more here, maybe. Stretch it, reach over. This gives it a little downward, outward pressure. Okay, that's it. We're gonna take all the tape off in 72 hours. We're gonna go over it, showing you how everything works perfect. How, again, this beautiful open-pore wood overlay fits on each piece perfect. And it holds great, and it's not gonna come off. It's not gonna get stained, and it should last for many years to come. And your beautiful Tesla Model 3 or Model Y for the first 6 months before the Gen 2 version came out. Again, this is Gen 1. Gen 2 is gonna be just like this, except it only has 2 pieces with an open cell phone area. So again, if your cell phone charging pad is visible and you don't have this, you don't have Generation 1. This is Generation 1 center console made by Tesla. Thanks again. We're gonna go put it back in the lobby, take some more pictures and videos after the tape's all dried up, bonded. And thanks again for watching. It's RPM Tesla.